But going back to the meat real quick, is it true eating meat kills your spirituality?
Oh, absolutely. You're like like people are like, oh, meat is associated with grounding and being thankful. Like I hear all kinds of dumb things. There's nothing justifiable with murder. And the thing is, I can go even further. Like we're under the jurisdiction of the Canaanites. Like I have books and I have like information that just like I'm reading it and making these correlations, and it's like I can sit here and talk about it all day, but people are just gonna like it's like, we need more. We need you to prove it. You can't prove it, or they just disagree. Right. There's just a cognitive dissonance.
Programming, and you can't prove it on paper that it affects spirituality.
I can't prove it on paper, but I can tell you that when I teach people to leave their body, like I have a whole like I've studied government like documents on how to do it, and I learned how to do it myself. I can teach it to a kid. And the thing is, one thing I will say is every person that would eat meat it would take them months before they'd experience anything. Really? Yeah, because meat does something to you. It like you become lighter when you eat fruit, and like you feel it. You feel like you have to experience it for yourself. People are like, oh, but my strength and this and that. Like you can't worry about your body recalibrating itself. People will do something for 3 weeks and have a recalibration like in that process, and they'll just freak out and then go back to what they're doing. Like you have to do something, and it has to become your lifestyle, and then you have to give your level of awareness to it. Yeah. Because the awareness is what stops it. Which is another reason why with medication they cut the test down to like 4 to 6 weeks, because the placebo will outperform the medication. And so so it's like your thought of something working is literally what helps you the most. Holy crap. And it's not even that. That's another thing that I was talking about, the biofield. The biofield is makes up 80% of your immune system. And so that's why if you're wearing specific clothing that disrupts your field, you're eating things that disrupt your fields, how do you think you go through the seasons of sickness? And more importantly, the reason why we're not supposed to eat meat is because it causes acidosis. Acidosis inflames the mucous membrane, and that's why whenever you get sick, you're what? Congested. Right. Yeah, so if you avoid these types of foods, your life will change. But you can't sit here and compare yourself to other people and worry about not being able to push 350 and not able to do all these certain things. It's like you have to understand that there's a bigger perspective, and you need to stay in that lane. Yeah. And if you can't do that, then you're just going to be following all the things you see on social media. This guy did that. This guy did this. And it's like you're never thinking for yourself. Someone's always thinking for you. Right. Yeah. Do you think it also affects your mental health, the diet? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Anything like if you're eating clean, you feel it. Like you feel the clarity. Like it's something that everyone should experience. Everyone should experience fasting. Everyone should experience a level of like going through a cleanse. I mean, there's a reason why you go out, you get hammered, and the next day you're like, oh, we got to eat some fruit, and like you're making a smoothie, you know, like there's a reason why like you have this ability to like do that. And even when you're sick, you're not going to eat meat. Like people that are sick usually don't go and associate. Right, they get soup. Yeah, it's like that's not even, and even soup. Like you should just be fasting and juicing at the same time. Fasting apparently can cure cancer too. Oh yeah, they didn't want that going to the public. So now, like I have, I've posted it when I got hit with that RICO. It wasn't just for the diabetes, but it was, I had a kid that I helped. His name was Aaron. Yeah. And I used to play Fortnite with this kid, and his hands were, he has epidermolysis bullosa, and his hands were webbed. And I met him playing Fortnite. Wow. And he was like, he wanted to 1v1 me. I didn't know he had no hands, you know. But everyone in my chat was like, the kid's got no hands, and that's how we became friends. Wow. And I told him I couldn't play with him anymore. And this is like when I went through my awakening. And a year later, he's like calling me. And when I finally answered, he was telling me how the doctors have him doped up so much that he's like leaving his body and seeing things. And he's like conscious for it. And he was telling me like, I remember you talk about these things. Like, can you help me? So as I start talking to him, I talk to his mom, and we go through like all his medications. So I just send him a bunch of herbs. I tell him like, this is what I did. Like I can't necessarily, because I'm not a doctor. Yeah. But like within 3 months, skin clearing up, his hemoglobin levels like skyrocketed. He said, he called me, he's like, Zach, like for the first time I got approved for my surgery. They unwebbed one of his hands. Whoa. Yeah. And so like, and then that's when he was like telling me, like I'm getting chills right now, but he's like, Zach, you need to talk about these things. And then that's when I started going on like social media talking about herbs,
Yeah.
started showing all the holistic books I was reading. And then that's when like I started getting banned, and I was like, damn.
That doesn't surprise me because Big Pharma funds a lot of these social media platforms.
Yeah.
A lot of my clips get taken down when I talk about like cures and treatments and stuff.
So now it's like what I notice is instead of saying whatever the issue is, I just associate the specific what is that this the organ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I mean Linus Pauling proved that all diseases come from mineral deficiencies. So my whole I guess you could say protocol is we fast, we get you on spring water or Kangen water. We give you raw fruit that's seeded, that's alkaline. And then we get you minerals from like burdock root, burdock leaf, tons and tons of herbs, sea moss, shilajit, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And then we get you on a fasting program. And then within 7 days, you're going to feel
Wow.
like night
I need
and
to
day
send you my
difference.
blood results. I had a lot of heavy metals and stuff.
Yeah, no. So I have a machine coming in where I can actually look at like people's blood.
What?
Like, yeah. So like it's it has like a screen on it. This thing was expensive, but it's like, this is the type of stuff like I have to show people.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize I could do it. Like you can actually go on YouTube and I think you can actually look up blood results from vegan and blood results
Really?
from a meat eater. Yeah. And it's scary.
What's the difference?
It's bad.
Like more active in the
It's like, no, there's what is it? I think the word is coagulation in the meat eater. And then you see a lot of like open, like it's just very like smooth going with the vegan.
Interesting.
Yeah. So my goal is to like have people come to like the podcast. We can do like some blood work.
That'd be cool to show people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are visual learners.
Because I can go to the doctor and I can do a blood test and then they can be like, well, your results numbers say this, this, and this. Like I'm gonna comprehend what it means.
Right.
You know, your hemoglobins were this level and this level. I mean, of course I'll feel tired. But the thing is, what a doctor tells you will just reinforce how you're feeling, and if not, make you feel that way. Because we're in the law of awareness. Like that is the most absolute thing that's being used against us. So it's like no action will come from a non-belief. And so whoever's giving you your beliefs and your concepts is literally controlling you.
Yeah.
And that's why I'll tell someone, I'm like, you're brainwashed. They're like, no, I'm not. And it's like, who's giving you your beliefs and concepts? Like, are you able to assimilate information and make your own conclusion and act on it? Or are you listening to certain individuals and then like following what they do? But I mean, at the same time, that's, you know, I feel like I'm doing what I can.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want anyone to trust me. I want people to, you know, research the things I say, you know, and never, ever just lead with, no, it's not. Like people need to be optimistic.
Yeah.
Expectation blinds people. And that's like another thing that we're fighting.
Absolutely. Are you able to channel information?
To be honest, yes. There was a few things that I would talk about spiritually that I just knew. And it was the weirdest sensation. Like I'd go into these meditations. Like I meditated every day for almost 3 to 6 hours.
Damn.
Yeah. Like this is like, people don't know this. Like, and like I wish I could call my mom and be like, Mom, what would you ever see me at the house? She's like, no, you'd always be in your room. And then you'd come out and you look like you were sleeping the whole time. But the whole thing is, it's like you go to bed and the moment you wake up, your mind's in a special state. So then what I would do is I would do this lucid meditation. It's real simple. You just stay on your back. You put a pillow underneath your legs. You take multiple deep breaths, oxygen saturation. And as you go into the relaxing like part of your breath, you just focus on not moving. And as you do that, eventually you'll feel a pulling sensation. And that pulling sensation is the door. And I would go into that, and I kid you not, it's not even 3 to 6 hours. Time was relative. I felt like I could have been gone for 10 minutes, and I was gone for hours. And I'd leave my body sometimes, and then I think it made it real when I left my body and I watched my parents watch TV.
Whoa.
Yeah. I talk about, like, that's why it's like people are, it's like, it sounds crazy.
Yeah, that's
Like,
astral projection, right?
We call it astral projection. The government calls it remote viewing.
Right.
But they're kind of one and the same. Like one of them is you leave your body, you're astral traveling, and I can travel around in my body. Remote viewing, in a sense, is like I can like basically when you're in that meditation and you see that light, even though you're like, I always put something over my eyes because that like for some odd reason tricks me to make sure that I know that I'm asleep. Because what would happen is If I didn't do that, I'd like slip in this in between thing and I'd get like sleep paralysis.
Oh, I hate that.
And so it would happen so much to where I actually can get out of it now if it happens. Yeah, it's super easy.
It happened to me once.
It's like once you overcome fear, that's why like I'm not afraid of getting killed. I'm not afraid of any of these things. It's like I've seen stuff that stuff is like gnarly, you know? But at the same time, it's like this is spiritual warfare. So like we should be diving in because if that's where the fight is, you know, we're outside having fun, you know, in the physical. And then everyone's like, oh, we got to fight this opposition. It's spiritual warfare. You need to, you know, improve the integrity of your soul. You know, you need to set out your foundation. You know, you're like a tripod.
Yeah.
You know, you knock out your body, mind. You have your body, mind, and soul. You knock out one of those legs, the whole system collapses. And that's what it is. They come for all three structures. And once you see that and can identify it, it's just finding ways around it to defeat it. And meditation is pretty much the key to everything.
Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode.